This week on Moms Like Us, Mike The Situation and Lauren Sorrentino are opening up about future baby plans.
I think I'd probably show them Jersey Shore Family Vacation first because I was an angel in that series. But I don't think I would, mind it either, once they're a specific age.
Well, that's because it's a boy.
Yeah.
Wait, ask him if it's a girl next time.
Plus, Teen Mom OG Cheyenne Floyd tells us how she has mastered co-parenting with her ex, Corey Wharton.
We don't really, Corey and I are not big on holding grudges towards anyone. So we're pretty good when it comes to if there's an issue, we talk about it and move on. So things from the past haven't really, it's not a problem.
And Clea Shearer and Joanna Teplin from The Home Edit give us tips on how to get organized and stay organized in the new year.
We're a little bit more brutal than that. I don't know where they get all these things.
I know. I'm like, you don't have money.
You don't have money. You don't have a car. You haven't left the house.
I know. You're not even seeing friends. Where is this stuff coming from?
I see things and I'm like, do you have an Amazon account? It's crazy.
We've got that plus so much more on today's Moms Like Us. Hey guys, Christina Garibaldi here with Brianne Mans from Stroller in the City. Hi Brianne, how are you?
Hey Christina, how's it going?
Good. I'm excited about today's episode because we are going to get so many tips and tricks on how to stay organized, which is one of my biggest downfalls.
Oh my goodness. Yes, me too. I'm so excited about it because we just purchased a new house. I don't know if I talked about this. It's only a second home, but I'm kind of starting from scratch and I don't know what to do. So I'm so excited that we're going to be talking to the girls from The Home Edit because I need all the tips I can get.
Seriously, all the help I can get. Give it to me now.
Yes.
But before we get to all that, we have to start with today's trend of the week, and celebrities are twinning with their kids. We saw Jude Law and his son Raph, who looks, picture image of his dad. It's crazy. The 24-year-old posed for GQ magazine and told the publication, "He and I have always been so close. Like any father and son, growing up, I looked up to my dad a lot. I've always liked the way he dresses. He loves trainers, so that got me into trainers from a young age. He likes good music, and that got me into the same." It's literally like he cut off Jude's head and is wearing it.
It's so true. They're like twins. It's so crazy to me.
So funny.
So I have more. There's no denying that Dancing with the Star pro Max and Peta's son, Shy, looks exactly like his dad. In December, she posted this precious pic of her 4-year-old. The couple are planning on baby number 2, so who knows, maybe he or she will look like mom this time.
Oh my God, it's such a beautiful little baby boy. And then we have Aisha Curry, who celebrated the recent inauguration by posting a side-by-side photo of her husband, Steph Curry, and their daughter, Ryan. And there is no denying she looks exactly like dad.
Oh my God, twinning. It's insane.
It really is. Now, do your kids look more like you or more like your husband, or is it a combination of both?
So so we have 3 kids. We have one that looks completely like my husband. One looks totally like me, like spitting image. It's my middle daughter. Her and I are twins. And then a mix is my other daughter. I feel like she's a mix of both of us. So it's funny. They all, it's just funny how it works. How about your daughter?
My daughter looks like me. She looks like me, as a baby. It's crazy. If you do side-by-side photos, you can't really tell us apart. But it's so funny you say that, because I have a couple friends who have 3 children, and the first always looks like the husband, the second looks like the mom, and the third is a mix. It's always happens like that. It's so funny.
So weird. And I always think that my son is a little bit of a mix, but they were like, "Oh my God, he's your husband. He's totally your husband." And I'm like, I don't know. I kind of see it. And it's funny that my middle one, she also resembles my mom more so than me as a kid. And I think that that's funny because I looked like my dad.
Yeah.
I didn't look like my mom. So I don't know where it's just so crazy how it happened.
It really is. It's so bizarre. Yeah. When my daughter was just born, she looked just like my uncle, which was crazy too. So it's weird how it happens. It really is. But it's so funny. I love it. All right, well, let's get to celeb mom and dad news of the week. And Kate Hudson knows that her family life may be a bit unconventional, but she wouldn't have it any other way. She opened up on the Today Show about how she shares her son Ryder, who is 17, with ex-husband Chris Robinson, son Bingham, who is 9, with ex-fiance Matt Bellamy, and daughter Ronnie, 2, with her boyfriend Danny Fujikawa. She said, "The only expectations I really have that are really high in my life is with my kids and with family stuff. Other than that, it's I just let it go. I work my ass off and then I walk away and I hope for the best." I mean, it's got to be difficult to co-parent with 3 different fathers, but she makes it look easy.
She makes it look so easy. It's crazy to me. And I feel like she just has that like carefree, laid back, and as she said, she does,
Yeah.
Attitude, and she just makes it work. I just like love it.
I do. I love it. And it seems like all of her kids are so close too. Like if you ever watch like her Instagram stories or even her posts, like they're like her oldest son just absolutely loves her daughter. And, they're all just like one big happy family, which is what you hope for.
Absolutely. And I will just add that her son's name is Ryder, as is mine. And I might have had a little bit of influence from her.
Really? Oh, I love that.
Yeah, like I just felt like I just like love the song. Like that's the reason why she named her son. And it just like resonated with me when I was like, picking out baby names. So there you go, Kate Hudson.
I love that. It's a great name.
There you go. So we have a new couple alert. It's Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker, and we hear that the kids actually brought them together. A source told Us Weekly, Travis and Kourtney's kids are very close. They became friends living in the same neighborhood and hang out a lot. Their kids' friendship had Kourtney and Travis spending a lot of time together. The pair have been close friends for years, but it recently turned romantic.
So interesting. I mean, have you heard of kids, bringing single parents together? Has that ever happened in your circle of friends at all?
I mean, not in my circle, but it did happen one time. So I guess a mom and dad from the school, they started having relations, and they actually like moved like away to like Florida together with all the kids.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I mean, I think they're still together. I don't know, but it was like definitely the talk of the town in our neighborhood. Like, oh my God, did you know who so-and-so and whatever? And the kids, and like, I knew the kids, but I never knew the mom, like of the dad. Cause I wonder if she moved to Florida. I mean, I would think that she was moving to Florida as well, because I don't know, but yeah.
I feel like it's probably a good way. Like it could either go really good or really bad, because if they end up being together and then they break up and then the kids have to see each other in school, like then that can just be a whole big mess. But
Totally.
But if it ends up working out, it could be a good thing, because then they're like hanging out with their friends all the time.
It's like a forever sleepover or something.
Yeah. Could either go either way.
Exactly.
All right. So moving on to Justin Timberlake, who revealed that he kept his kids out of the public eye to protect their childhood. He told the Armchair Expert podcast, "I try to be conscious of making sure we can live a life where we're not weirdly private, but we're conscious of making sure they can be kids for as long as possible and not have the weight of somebody else treating them differently because of something that their parents do. Except for guys like us, the hope is that we just keep instilling in them that we've got really fun jobs, but it's not who we are. Hopefully down the road, then that has more weight to it, I guess." I mean, how weird would it be if your dad is Justin Timberlake?
I don't even know. It's so insane to me. It's so insane to me, because I'm sure that they're so young now, so it definitely hasn't affected them yet. But I don't know. It's just,
I couldn't imagine. I mean, he said that like his son Silas his son is 5. He's starting to go to school, and a lot of the kids are like, "Oh, your dad was in Trolls." And it's like, yeah, my dad is in Trolls. Like, that's crazy. I mean, but I think it's good that, they are trying to keep it as normal as possible, because they definitely are going to grow up in an abnormal world.
Absolutely. Oh my God. I mean, I can't even imagine. I'm sure he must think too, like, and you see like celebrities with their kids, like now, like their kids older, they would be like, "Oh my God, oh yeah, that's just my mom on TV. Like, no big deal." I don't think that they will ever become like starstruck.
No. I mean, because like he's hanging out with like the guys of NSYNC and like Jay-Z, and like those are just like his like uncles and friends.
I know, it's crazy. My daughter actually went to a class. I'm not going to say which, because I feel like people know, but with J-Lo's daughter.
Oh my God.
And the daughter was like, "Oh yeah, my mom is J-Lo." And I was like, what is she talking about? And then I was like, "Oh my God, that is J-Lo's daughter." And like my daughter didn't even know, you know what I mean? And my daughter was like, "Who's J-Lo?" This is like 2 years ago. And nannies picked them up. I never saw J-Lo. So
yeah. But I'm sure that's her mom. It's just so normal for her. It's crazy. I couldn't even imagine.
I know. I'm like looking at her. I'm like, "Is your mom ever going to pick you up?"
Yeah. Can you let me know?
It's your mom.
Seriously. All I love that.
Okay, so moving on. Eva Mendez recalled an important parenting lesson that she recently learned thanks to one of her young daughters, who shared a piece of advice courtesy of Latinx Parenting Twitter's account. She wrote, "Let your kids call you out. It's not disrespect, it's healthy. I haven't posted lately because my little one told me I was on the phone too much. I could tell she was taking it personally, and she's a kid. Of course, she'd take it personally. They take things personally unless we go out of our way to make it clear to them that it's not personal." She added, "So we had a good talk and I apologized and promised I'd be mindful. I realized that just because I'm always home with them doesn't mean I'm always present." I totally relate to this. My kids have called me out so many times, and now with them being home because of COVID, there's no boundary, there's no line, there's no mommy works from this time to this time because everything is intertwined. So I so get this.
Yeah, I totally get it too, even though my daughter doesn't really know that know what's going on, but I feel like every time she sees me, she's trying to grab for my phone. And I'm like, oh, that's not a good thing, because she sees that I'm on it all the time, and she associates that. So yes, I mean, I do have to sometimes remind myself, okay, like I can be more present. Like this can wait. I can put this down for 30 minutes, an hour, and nothing is going to happen. But it's hard sometimes because we're so connected to our phones. We work from our phones. We were constantly on social media and everything like that. You always feel like you're going to miss out on something, but you also have to remember that you're going to miss out on something with your kids too, which I try to remind myself all the time.
Such a hard line. It's such a hard line. I mean, I literally found myself the other day answering an email and yelling at my kids to get off of screen time. And then I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? And then I was like, thank God they didn't notice. But like, it's so bad. It's so bad. Social media is just bad. It's hard.
No, but that's so true, because like you always try to limit the screen time, and then like I get like the weekly report of how much I'm on my phone, and I'm like, oh my God, this is terrible.
So scary. What I have found that really helps, I leave my phone in my kitchen when I go to bed now.
Well, that's I've heard that from a lot of people.
It really helps. It really helps.
So
like I'm without it for like a bunch of hours, and like there's no text messages that can like interrupt you. It's good.
That's a really smart idea. I know, because like sometimes if you can't sleep in the middle of the night, you start scrolling, and then that's a whole bad thing. All right. Well, Mike The Situation Sorrentino and his wife Lauren are gearing up for baby number 1, but that doesn't mean they don't have baby number 2 on the brain. We caught up with the Jersey Shore couple about expanding their family. Take a look. Do you guys, I know you haven't even given birth yet, but do you have the amount of kids that you want to have in the future?
Oh, it's so funny. She's like, all right, honey, right after we have this first one, we're going to have the other one. I was like, whoa. I said, honey, let's calm down one step at a time. But I think she's on to something that, we definitely would like around 3 children, I think.
I think 3, but I don't know. It's like, that's really aggressive. I mean,
at least 2.
I think growing up, we both grew up in big families.
Yeah.
He's one of 4, I'm one of 4, but it's a lot. So it'll definitely be more than 1.
Yeah.
And everyone says like get the baby stage out of the way. So we just have to keep going.
Yeah, totally. Just do it back to back. Get it out of the way.
That's what we're thinking.
Are you eventually going to let your kids watch Jersey Shore? I'm sure you get that question all the time.
Oh my God.
I don't know about. I think I'd probably show them Jersey Shore Family Vacation first, because I was an angel in that series. But I don't think I would, mind it either, once they're a specific age.
Well, that's because it's a boy.
Yeah.
Wait, ask him if it's a girl next time.
Yeah. I think I've been such a good, I don't know about model citizen, but in the Jersey Shore Family Vacation series, it has really documented our comeback and the start of our family. So I would definitely be proud to show my son that.
I mean, did you even discuss baby number 2 when you were pregnant with baby number 1?
No. And wait until that baby is out and keeping you up at night. You will not be discussing baby number 2.
For quite some time, totally. Until they were sleeping through the night, you're like, oh, maybe I can do this again.
Oh my God. So moving on to our mom of the week goes to Teen Mom OG star Cheyenne Floyd, who told us that she has mastered the art of co-parenting with her ex, Corey Wharton. Take a look at this.
Are they so excited? Are Corey and Taylor so excited about your pregnancy and, upcoming baby?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely They were at the gender reveal, and we were all so shocked, including them, that it was the boy. So, it's exciting. Just all the kids. There's so many kids now, so it's exciting. But yeah, they were definitely been supportive through this process and excited for Zach and I.
Definitely. Is Ryder enjoying being a big sister to their little one?
Yeah, Rye is like in love with little Mila, and just the idea of being a sister, I think, having the title, and Mila's finally getting to the age where she's like beginning to crawl and sit up and stuff, so it's becoming funner for Ryder. So yeah,
a lot of other people are going through navigating co-parenting and kind of in those early stages. So what would you say is your number one piece of advice?
Oh gosh, there's so many things with co-parenting, but I think for us, our number one like motto or goal was always to just keep Ryder first and to do what was best for her. And those things might have been like meaning that we had to swallow our pride or sit through an uncomfortable conversation or an uncomfortable, moment together, but she's happy. So we just smile through it and really just keeping the kids first. It's all about them at this point. Anything that happened prior to them coming here, you can't dwell on, so really trying to live in the present day and realizing that everything you do is for your children. I think if you keep the kids first, then you have to kind of do a lot of forgiveness. Forgiveness.
Yeah, I mean,
so do you think that it was odd that he showed up to her gender reveal?
I don't think so. I mean, they literally have, she said that, they've gone through their ups and downs. They share, their daughter, and I guess they both wanted to share in this experience. Yes, maybe, I don't know if I would have my ex at my gender reveal. It might be a little weird, but he's moved on. He has a baby with somebody else, and they just want to do one big happy family with things.
Yeah, I think it's good to show the kids that they're all like united and they're doing things together.
Yes,
so kudos to them.
Yeah, seriously, good for them. All right, well, moving on to our gears and gadgets. We've all been trying to get organized in 2021, and some of us are doing great, and some of us not so much, like myself. So we thought, what better way to get some help than from the experts themselves, Clea Shearer and Joanna Teplin from Netflix's The Home Edit. Take a look. So what is your number one tip as somebody gets ready to begin the organization process?
Start small.
Mm-hmm.
I would start very small so that you can actually see a project A to Z. You don't get overwhelmed. The problem is that people take on, it's like in January when everyone's like, I'm going to lose 30 pounds. You need to try to lose 2 first. So, that's how we see organizing too. You want to start with a drawer, something very small. You don't want to start with a closet or a whole kitchen. Not going to be good for you.
Yeah, you really need to, take bite-sized chunks. And, once you kind of get your feet wet and see a project through from A to Z, then you can start kind of extrapolating out your newfound organizing knowledge into larger spaces. But starting up at the top of the mountain just is not advised.
No, I like that.
Yes, for sure. Oh my God. So for me, I want to know, so we just bought a second home. So now I am starting from a clean slate.
That's the best.
So it's the best, but it's also so hard because I'm like, what do I get? So, I mean, let's just talk like kitchen for, for me. So now I went on to Container Store and got your entire bundle for my pantry. I can't wait. It was shipped out. So what advice do you have for me? Like, what is like the biggest mistake I can try to avoid when starting from this like clean, slate right now?
Well, I think let's start in the kitchen. I think again, you can break those into smaller pieces. So, you get your refrigerator set up because everyone and whoever you're living with is going to also have their hands in the refrigerator too. So get that one piece and the freezer set up where everybody's constantly moving in and out and get systems in place there. So, great that you got our bins. One of the great things about Healthy Choice and Bird's Eye is not only is the food delicious, but the packaging lends itself very nicely to our products.
And organizing. Yes. Like the boxes, the bags, everything is, you know, it stands up really nicely. It fits really well in our clear storage bins.
Yeah.
Again, everything, because it's kind of grouped by color anyway, the color packaging is very solid, which we like. We don't like a, you know, willy-nilly packaging around here. We like a good blue. You know, so that's really helpful. But, you know, I think that utilizing that clear storage system that we, you know, preach about will really help in all over your kitchen, but your pantry, your fridge and freezer, but more than any other space, it will really help take advantage of everything. Because that way you can actually see what you have. You can take inventory of all of your items. You know, you can easily label it. You know, we don't use clear storage for absolutely everything, but when it comes to food, it is by far the best approach.
Let's talk kid spaces. So I would love to hear some tips that you guys have for kid spaces, and ones that, you know, what if you live in a small space? Like, what are your tips for that?
Well,
go ahead.
Kids, you really need broad categories. You need something that is not super finicky, that a child can easily understand, even if they can't read. You know, like big floor bins are really helpful. They can access what they want to play with and they can easily put it away. You know, it's not up high on a shelf. You know, and we like to think of it as like, again, the large overarching categories, just like blocks, trains, dolls. You know, don't start separating out and like, oh, these are the Frozen dolls and these are the, you know, it's like, no, you're going to be then the one who has to put everything away, because the kids aren't going to understand that and they're going to mess up the system. So floor bins are also a great idea for someone that doesn't necessarily have a dedicated playroom, or maybe their kids have small rooms and they have to kind of also use the living room for toys and things like that. Just having really nice, pretty large baskets, honestly, are just in the living room on the side of the wall. It's a great way to kind of store those kind of large categories. And again, the kids can get into it and they can put it away when they're done.
The other thing I'll just add, and this is truly for any space, but the editing is so important, especially with kids, because things are broken all the time. Like there's a tiny little crayon that no one's going to color with it anymore. But that stuff takes up space. So it's like making sure that you're constantly going through items, that they're donating things that they no longer play with to kids that would love to play with those things. And, you know, making sure that you have all the pieces for the puzzle, you know, all those types of things are really worth going through, because you either have the item or the space, but you can't have both at some point, especially if you're in a small space.
Right.
Go ahead, Christina.
No, go ahead.
Well, another small space solution, particularly for kids items that we love to implement, is a cart system, any kind of rolling cart. It's really good for kids' art supplies, even a homeschool station, anything like that. It always looks cute. You know, carts we love it. You know, I joke that Jenna's, you know, sponsored by carts. She loves carts. But you know, they can easily go in a closet, against a wall, in the kids' closet, even just like underneath their hanging clothes, and it can hold all sorts of things. I mean,
carts are the best. They're a magic trick. We love carts.
We love a good cart. I love that. Do you make it fun for your kids' organization? Do you make it an activity? And how can you do that? How can you make something like that, like cleaning up an organization fun?
I'm not sure they would call it fun, but it's.
I was about to say.
I mean, you know, it's par for the course. Like, this is who they live with, and we're going to teach them these skills young. It's the only skills we can teach them. We don't know how to do many other things. So they will be good at organizing. I go through and edit all the time. And it's like, if they want to keep something, I'm like, okay, go put it away, you know, and they're like, oh, I don't want to put it away. I'm like, well, then I guess you don't want to keep it, you know? So you can decide for yourself whether you think that's fun, but that approach, but that is my approach.
Well, I will 100% agree with Joanna. I don't know that our kids would say that we make it fun, but we think we make it fun.
Yeah.
I think it's super fun. But, you know, I do think turning things into a little bit of a game, a sorting activity. One of the reasons why we organize by color for kids is, first of all, it's really intuitive for them. They don't need to read a label. They can obviously see where red goes, where blue goes. But it's also, you know, it's a game for them. It becomes a sorting game. So
actually, you know what? I'm going to revise my answer. I actually think Marlo, my daughter, thinks it is fun, because I came up the other day and I said, no more TV today. We watched like 30 hours of TV. I forced her to turn the TV off, and I came upstairs to see what she'd been doing, and she organized her Barbie dream house. So, you know, that had to be fun on some level for her to choose to do that.
Or maybe she just thought she had to.
Maybe she did. That's possible too.
Starting to rub off.
Either way, it's a win, so it's fine.
Clea, Joanna, thank you so much for taking the time.
Oh, this was so fun, actually.
This is so fun.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I feel like we got some great tips from them.
I know, they are the best.
They
I
really
like,
are.
I mean, I watched that show on Netflix, like 5 times, and I'm like pausing it now because I need to know, like, how did they edit this? How did they do this shelf? Like, I need every single piece. Like, I mean, they're just amazing. Like,
They really
best
are.
tips ever.
I'm so happy that we were able to talk with them, and hopefully they gave everybody some good ideas. But we thought it would be fun to run down some of our own favorite organization tips as well. So my first one is from Monty Kids. Now they have a great free ebook. It's called Why Clutter-Free is Better for Baby's Brain, and that teaches parents that toddlers can focus for a long period of time if they are engaged with something at the right developmental level. But when their play areas are filled with toys and there's so many different distractions and so many options, it makes it hard for them to focus. So they share how and why it's important to prepare an environment that supports a child's learning from the very beginning. And they also have this really cute shelf that to keep your toys organized, and it's just $20. And like I said, the ebook is free. Their toys are great, and they're wooden toys, so they're classic and they last for a really long time. But it's a good idea to always rotate toys anyway.
Absolutely. I love this. I love this. I feel like I even need to read this now. Like, even though my kids are not really playing with that many toys, but like when it's too much, it's just overwhelming for them. It's overwhelming for me. So I can't even imagine what it is like for kids.
Yeah, but it's great though too, because you can bring out the toy in another month or two and they think it's new.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I hide things all the time. I still do. And they're like, yes.
I love that.
You never know. So in trying to organize my new home, I am like basically starting from scratch. And what I found on Amazon are they're actually stackable. They're plastic water bottle holders, which I love because how many times you have like all those water bottles, the reusable ones, like just lined up in your cabinet with nowhere to go. So these you can actually stack up, and you can also do this like in the refrigerator too if you want. And they are just $29. You can find them on Amazon.
I love that. That's so smart.
Yeah, and keeping with that, I got these large standing ones. You can also use these in your cabinets. You can also use them in your kitchen. These are great for stacking soda. In my house, it's seltzer. We just like go through so many cans of seltzer all the time. Even canned food, you can do this too. And it really takes up so much, less room, and it makes it look less of a mess.
I love that. I need to get that because my pantry is like a disaster. So it just seems like it keeps everything in order. And I just have like boxes of water bottles just laying around too. So that's
right. I feel like this is like such a great, resource for sure.
Totally. All right. Well, I am keeping with the toy theme, and I'm loving this step 2-in-1 toy box and art lid. So not only can you store all your kids' toys in it and it fits a lot, but the lid actually detaches and they can use it as a place to do some of their artwork. Definitely some good storage tips and play areas too, which I love.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
you're going to be so organized.
I can't wait. Well, I hope that we gave you guys all some really good ideas, and please let us know what you guys think in the comments. And if you have any other organization tips, we would love to hear from them. So definitely let us know. Brianne, thank you so much.
Thank you, Christina. Enjoy the rest of the week.
You too. And I'm so excited because next week we're going to have our Valentine's Day show. Yes, Valentine's Day is right around the corner, which is insane. So we're going to give you guys some ideas for that as well.
Totally.
All right. Well, make sure to check back every Thursday on Us Weekly's YouTube channel for Moms Like Us. Keep commenting, keep subscribing, and we will see you guys next week.
Yes.
Bye.